What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another. Oh my God, what's happening? Can anyone else hear that? Was that just me?
Hello?
Hello?
It's
Can we
gone
all
now.
hear each other? Okay. Rich, do you have? I didn't even have headsets. Do you have headsets? Do you have a headset?
No.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of What's New in Kaiju, and we have a very special guest, Mr. Fresh himself. What's going on, Rich? How we doing, man?
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me. Good time.
And of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Leslie Chambers, rocking some new fresh gear. Actually, we both are. We're all wearing our own merch. Rich got it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Buy our shit, guys. It helps. So what's going on, everybody? Today, I hope everyone's trying to stay cool. If you're in the tri-state area, New York is insane right now. Yesterday, it was like over 104. Today, it's over 105. It's
Yeah.
a little silly out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit hot.
Yep.
It's like Solgull Island right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess between the three of us, which one of us is for Kawa? Who's going to be the mad one that goes crazy and shoot up people for no reason?
Or it's like
That's gonna do.
feels like G-Fest when the AC went out. That's what it kind of feels like.
Which year? It happened multiple years. Which
That
year
happened
is that?
multiple years? Oh shit. The last one, because I think pretty sure after that year that's when they moved to the Hyatt the next year.
Yeah, Hyatt's
Yeah,
been great,
right, Rich?
especially in the dealer's room.
Yeah, I had actually
Yeah.
stayed at that hotel one of the years, and yeah, I'm glad they moved it there. I have not actually been to a G-Fest there yet, but yeah, that hotel is definitely an upgrade for everybody. Kaiju battle, I'm melting. Yes, sir.
It is worth the money. Like, again, as much money as we were paying at the Crown, we deserve a hell of a lot more than what we were getting, like, especially those last few years. But it's a better location. It's really only like a block away from where the Crown is. It's in a better location. It's closer to Giordano's, which is always great. It's just a great environment. Great environment, more spacious. The only thing that the Crown has over the Hyatt is, like, remember the big back patio that the Crown had where we all used to uh, congregate after at night.
Yeah.
You know where the blood parties were, right? Well, the Hyatt does not have a big enough patio like that. If anything, you could fit maybe three people, and you can't even change your mind out there. That's how big the patio is, at least small. But
Just a balcony.
Well, would the other hotel get mad? Do you guys just move over there at night? It's only down the block.
That happened a couple years ago, and the Crown Plaza kicked everybody out.
Oh, for real?
That's fair.
I think in what was it, 2023? We walked down there, and everybody got kicked out. And then the next year is when they had like that dinner party that was set up at Caddyshack. But you had to get tickets, so I was like, that's not the same, So patio, it's history.
Damn. What about how's the lobby in the Hyatt? Can you do it in the lobby, or is that
Awesome.
too rowdy?
Awesome.
No, the lobby's great. I mean, honestly, there's so much room to spread out, which is really nice. Because you have that balcony, and then just inside the balcony is like this atrium or whatever you call it. It's like this giant glass dome, like Death Star looking thing. There's seating on the first level, the seating on the second level. Then you go into the lobby, there's seating all around there and everything. There's the bar, there's the restaurant, there's just the seating downstairs. There's plenty of places to hang out. The only thing that it's, like Leslie was saying, as far as, the comparison to the Crown, it was easy just to have a central location on the patio at the Crown. We're here at the Hyatt, you kind of spread out all over the place, which I like personally. It's nice, you just kind of like get a group of friends, you just kind of have your own little corner somewhere, and it doesn't have to be this large, massive crowd of people like the patio was, But, so there's pros and cons. But the new hotel, you're going to love it.
Yeah, the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to the Hyatt.
Yeah.
It really does. Like, when you go there, you're going to see exactly what we're talking about. It is leaps and bounds, the better hotel, better venue, more spacious venue. And and like what Rich said, you have multiple floors. We got the lobby on one floor downstairs where you have basically the bulk of the convention of G-Fest with the dealer's room and the panel and stuff like that. And there's also like a little convenience store down there where you can get like water and coffee and snacks if you're not down with the hotel food that they offer. But aside from that, it's a great, 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 great venue. But let me just tell you, personally, I've been looking forward to this all pretty much all week for a variety of reasons. It's a big ass reason right next to me. But one in particular is like I've been on the show with Rich before. I've been on the show with AJ before, but I've never gotten these two together. And
Yeah,
personally, they're my bestest friends in the whole wide world. So I've always wanted to
awesome
make this meeting
streams.
happen. So thank you, both of you, for being here. The common denominator is that y'all share me, and y'all are better people for it. Let's be honest. But but again, thank you both for being here and sharing this moment because we'll talk about some stuff like Rich got a couple band dyes, some other things, and AJ got some stuff he wants to go over. But really, the reason why we're here is because I just recently got
A big ass
the,
box.
the gigantic series, or at least the Favorite Sculptors line gigantic series, Space Godzilla from X Plus / Omega Beast. Now, before I open this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start opening the box. And y'all can talk amongst yourselves because it's going to take me a little minute to get the
Yeah, no,
styrofoam and everything uncovered and all that good stuff. But before we get into that, I have to go into the backstory about this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when this thing first came out, I know I've not been too complimentary with my praise or lack thereof of this thing. It looked too weird to me, as a lot of Omega Beast sculpts. And I know I've been very, very critical and vocal about how I don't like Omega Beast, and a lot of what I've said, I stand by it. But I have never ever said that Omega Beast should go away, they should die in the dumpster fire, never to return. Even though a lot of their sculpts don't appeal to me personally,
I
I'm
think I
happy
said
that
that.
they exist. I've always said that. I've always said I'm happy that they exist, even though a lot of what they do don't speak to me. Only a couple things, but I've always said I'm glad that they exist. And this gigantic space Godzilla came out around May of last year, early. Then American customers started getting, I think, late July, going into August.
Mm.
And and first I wasn't really feeling it at first. But fast forward to this year, 2026, and when the wife and I went up to Kaiju Brooklyn, saw AJ and the Russos at Kaiju Brooklyn, had a good time there. Spent the rest of our trip hanging up in Massachusetts at
And then
Rich's
Rich
house.
stole you. Yeah, then Rich stole you from me.
Yeah,
I said, you're
meatballs,
coming to
man.
hang
Come
out
on.
with this Italian.
And he had meatballs. He wanted to shove in my mouth. But anyways, go
Phrasing.
there to his house, and of course, Rich has an amazing collection. You know that. At least you don't really know half of it because he has a lot of stuff that you don't really see on camera. But I go into one of his collection rooms. I say yes, one of his collection rooms, and he had this big, beautiful son of a bitch laying in the middle of the floor on top of a display, and I was like, uh, crap, I gotta have it now. And
Yep.
and then afterwards, I went home because I came into some money after we got back home, and I came into a little bit of money, and I've been working real hard lately. I'm like, you know what, I want to treat myself. So I watched Rich's video because he did a review of it along with Josh Hoy, who's in the chat right now. Yes, Josh, I blame you too, both you and Rich.
I blame
And they did a
him.
comprehensive review. Yeah, so basically, Josh Hoy is the real villain in this story.
He's the
Really?
influencer.
Yes, he. Please don't say that word. You know what I'm talking
But
about.
in a good way.
In a good
Fresh
way. Yes,
influencer.
yes. But they did a review, a comprehensive review of this thing, bells and whistles. Even doing the review, go back and watch it. At that point, Rich didn't have his yet. But if you watch the video, even Rich was like, God damn, I gotta have it now, right? And I felt the same way when I saw it in person at his house.
Nope.
So
You
that
were
is the
staring
reason
at
why
it.
I got this. Yes.
Nope.
Tell him, Rich.
You were
Tell him.
you were staring at it like I was staring at Josh's because the video review that I did Josh and I did was of his figure. I never actually did a review on mine. There's no need to. It's the same thing. But in my video with Josh, I'm like just staring at it. I'm like, Josh is talking. I'm like, and really what's just going on repeat in my head. I need it. 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 And now I have it. I have it. I have it. So
Yeah. And so after me, just because again, it's the same thing with Rich. Like we in the room talking, and he we're talking about just not only Godzilla stuff, but life stuff and regular stuff, right? It's kind of like what happened when I went to see him in 2021. That's when he got the KOC 64. And that's that same trip, ironically, that's when I got your KOC,
Hmm.
AJ. Cause I came and saw you after I saw Rich, right? So here we are a few years later,
So
and it's like the
that's
same thing all
why.
over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And that
Go
every
full
ahead,
time
Rich.
circle
you come to
moment
the
because now I got
Northeast,
mine.
yeah. But every
Go ahead,
time you
Rich.
come to the Northeast, you're gonna get something. You just know it.
Yeah,
Yep.
because
Yeah.
the KOC, I wasn't really feeling either. At least I didn't have any plans to get it. But once I saw Rich in person, I was like, damn, here we are 5 years later, and the same thing happens where I see something in his collection. I'm like, you know what? I got to have it in my collection. But I blame him and I blame Josh because this thing is really amazing based on what I saw. And we'll get more into the bells and whistles of this thing once I get unboxed and everything. But that is basically the backstory on how I got this figure. Oh, and also because I got this Monday. And the
Mm.
reason why I didn't unbox it because Rich made me promise him. He was like, dude, when you get it, you got to FaceTime me
Yeah.
so I can get your natural reaction. I was like, you know what? Let's meet in the middle. Let's do it on Kaiju Live. He was like, fine, cool. But that's the reason
Hell
why I
yeah.
haven't unboxed the thing yet. But I told these guys before we went live because I got this is a big ass box and I had it sitting in the living room. So every time I leave the room to go to work and come back at night, it's the first thing and last thing I see. And every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I pass by this thing and it's taking everything, the black guy in me, to go in there and just rip it open and, and try to feign my excitement. I'm like, you know what? I made a promise to my best friend, so I'm going to honor it. But these 5 days have been the longest. But now the wait is over. So now I'm done with the backstory and the rambling. I'm going to try and get this open. In the meantime, you can talk amongst yourselves. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Well, I also blame Leslie for downsizing my collection. It's been not going the way I wanted it to be since we started doing this show, you know.
Just that bullshit. Just that bullshit right there.
I was like, I'm gonna downsize my collection. Then Leslie sends me the KOC 64. He's like, you can get it again. Yeah, you're
Mhm.
right. I can get
Yep.
it again. Let me go pick that shit up.
That's a cool thing we all have in common. Like Martha vs. Godzilla is our favorite movie, favorite
Hmm.
Godzilla movie. The 64 is our favorite Godzilla
Favorite suit.
design.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, so we
The
have a really lot. We really have a lot in common. That's why I want to
Rich.
get us together. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Mm.
yeah, Rich. Do you have the M1 64?
No.
Uh,
No.
so on that same road trip, he brought it to your house, right? To like shove it in your face, like, look what you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
have.
did. I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
did.
Okay, so we both got that same experience of like, holy shit, that is the
Yeah.
best. And don't get me wrong,
And
I think the KOC is like right under it, but the M1 is just perfection.
When it comes to the M1, it's fucking massive. It's gigantic. It's got that powerful vibe to it, and being a 64 mark, how you can't deny it. While we're real quick, I should have asked this before we went live. I feel like there's a delay. Am I delayed?
No, not really. You're seeing, unless you're watching it on YouTube.
No, because I'm like when I'm talking, I see a delay on my screen on it. But
Oh
anyways, all
yeah,
right, it's fine.
yeah. It's a little bit of a delay. Yeah.
Okay, all right. But yeah, the 64, the M1. Eventually, I'm gonna say it's time to get one, and I'm gonna go hunting. And usually, when I go hunting, I come up, exactly what I'm looking for. So just knowing that how old that is and how long it's been out, patience is going to be a virtue for that one. But we'll see.
There was one on
Mm.
Yahoo, I think, a week or two ago, and it went for some serious money because I was tracking it to see, like,
Mm.
maybe, if it's under 2,000, maybe. It was not.
Oof. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was not. So,
I would probably pass if it was, over that much money because
and this one was built and already painted. So,
oh yeah.
so yeah, you're paying the primo on that.
Yeah. Leslie, what you got
Oh,
there? It looks like you got a big box.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
the best part of an unboxing. This is why, like, a lot of
Yeah.
times, like, I try to skip that part because it's just like so much going on.
Why did I wait 5 days? Because of my short Italian friend, because I love him so much. That's why. But damn it, come here.
Yeah, buddy.
Take off. Take off, you. Take off. Take off. Oh, oh, like, wait, baby Jesus. Oh,
That's a happy gentleman right there.
oh my God! Look at that.
I can't
Oh
believe
my
you did it.
God. Oh, oh, thank you, Rich. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for
Josh, it's all
convincing me.
Josh.
Yeah, man. Good
Courtesy of
God.
Easy Hobby.
Oh,
Which
oh.
version is this?
This
It's
is
the
the standard
standard.
version. I didn't get the light up version. I just want the standard, But now I'm a believer. Like I'm going to go after more Omega B sculpts now. Like this,
Now, just
we're
to
really,
just
we're,
to
go ahead, man.
sorry, it's the whole delay thing.
You good?
So because I needed to figure it out too when I got my first one with the Odo Island. So Omega Beast is the series, like gigantic series, but it's the
Yeah.
brand that's Easy Hobby. So that this is the Omega Beast series, um, by Easy Hobby. You know, like X Plus is X Plus, but they have the gigantic series. So that's what that is. Like Easy Hobby has the Alpha Kaiju series, which is like a 30 centimeter line or whatnot. But anyways,
Yeah, yeah,
continue.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that Alpha Kaiju series is like their 30 centimeter or 40 centimeter type thing. But yeah, but again, a lot of their Omega,
Uh,
no, but yeah, Omega Beast gigantic stuff. Like their Shin's not really a big fan of. Um, the 1998 Godzilla, I actually want that. Like honestly, like I actually want that. And honestly, I saw this one online. At the same
mm.
time, I was gonna go after this one, and I had to make a choice. I was like, do I get this 1998 Godzilla or do I get Space Godzilla? Because again, I mean, it's no secret that I've been more of an advocate for the '98 Godzilla, at least for the past 2 years. Um, and it's great to see to finally it's great to finally see that design of Godzilla, at least the movie, is starting to get the flowers he deserves. Rich, your video of the X plus one.
Instead of hammers, you mean? Instead of hammers and violence? Dude, that was
um,
one of the best intros. That intro was incredible.
that
Like 12
that was
yeah,
years
fun. I
ago.
told I told Leslie that was fun to go back to, because it's been a while since I've watched any of that older stuff, so it was fun to bring it back.
yeah. But it was a perfect reflection of how you feel one way this year. Yet as you get older, things change. You look at things from a different perspective. And it's nice to know that, yes, it may not be the definitive Godzilla, but I think we can all agree that hate that we have seen for this thing or for that thing over the years has been way overblown to the point where it's really unhealthy. So your video again it just adds into that resurgence that '98 Godzilla has been getting, and a lot more people who may have been kind of hesitant to show their love for the '98 Godzilla online or anywhere else because you might get attacked for it. Now you're starting to see more people come out and say, you know what, yes, that was my first Godzilla. I like it. I enjoy it.
Hot.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's nice to see. It's nice to see that resurgence. But oh, one last thing I gotta do before got to put the tail on. Now
Ooh, it's a key
going
tail?
by what I saw with yeah, it has a tail. But according to what I saw with Josh and Rich, there's no squishy soft action that you got to do. Apparently, all you got to do is just slide in the tail. As so, if I can get it.
Oh yeah. Maybe throw some
Yeah.
lube on it, get a little
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
yeah, get a
That's
little
it.
hot tour,
Here we go. This is a family show, ladies and gentlemen. But
Oh,
yes.
now with the
My
three of
bad.
us on, get out of here.
Oh my God,
Dude,
yes,
that's
ladies and
awesome.
gentlemen, the Omega Beast, Space Godzilla from the favorite products line. Also, thank you to the person who helped me out with this purchase. You're in the chat, you know who you are. But yes, thank you to that person. Thank you to Rich, and thank you to Josh for convincing me. Because I know Josh more so than Rich was really leaning on me. Because every now and then, whenever we would talk about Space Godzilla on Cam or wherever else that I may be on the show, he will always pop up and say, "Hey, Leslie, you're gonna get it right." And I'm like, I'll say something derogatory like, "No, I'm not gonna get the cocaine look Space Godzilla and blah blah blah," um, but again, after seeing Rich's in person and looking at it from a
Mm.
perspective that if Space Godzilla was a real creature, The problem with the '94 Space Godzilla, even though the design is awesome, the suit was very, very limited because it was a very bulky suit. It wasn't really expressive. This sculpt captures if Space Godzilla was a little bit more expressive, if he actually
Mm.
moved a little bit more. And I actually like that. I really do. And considering this probably going to be the only gigantic space Godzilla that we get for the time being, I don't know. Maybe Spiral may do one, or maybe S Plus.
Mm.
Well, S Plus is doing one, partnering with Mega Beast. But I figure this is probably my only shot to get a gigantic space Godzilla. And space Godzilla is probably going to be the main topic of discussion in a few weeks. And if you know, you know. So the timing was perfect. So again, thank you to Rich and thank you to Josh and the person in the chat who helped me out. Really do appreciate it. And I will be doing a full review on this. It'll be coming exclusively here to the Kaiju Live channel. And you know, at some point we should do a get together. Like Rich, please come back. You're more welcome to come back. I know you got some
Mm-hmm.
cool Space Godzillas. Let's have a Space Godzilla collectible discussion. You know,
Ooh,
Yeah.
talk about.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
I haven't
Yes.
yeah,
gotten the
this
new
is
2.0 Bandai yet, but pretty much have every other one.
It's freaking awesome. Oh,
oh yeah.
damn it. I can't figure this out sometimes.
I got you. I'll
There
just
we
put
go.
you full screen.
Oh, all right. That's better. Which way?
I-
Which way? Which way? Which way?
No,
But
that
yeah,
is awesome.
they did a great job on the sculpt on this. So highly recommended. Absolutely.
Okay, but that's it with my
Yeah,
grand reveal of gigantic space Godzilla, and I'll post some on my Instagram and I'll post some on the Kaiju Live group. And like I said, the review will be coming. I won't be at the G Fest, maybe closer to August, but that review will be coming like real soon. So
And if you haven't figured it out or seen, Leslie actually just did his first review for the Kaiju Live
Mhm.
channel on the FSL. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not the FSL. The Great Clash Godzilla the Ride, which goddamn. It's funny. Like I looked at that release when it first came out because I thought it looked too similar to the FSL, and I was like, completely scoffed at it as like, why? Why was this figure needed? But then like watching the review and seeing the actual comparison, you're like, well, fuck. Now I get it.
Yep.
And then that Mecha
Shit.
Godzilla coming out to pair with it down the line, like I think that's also a game changer. Is like that's going to be in perfect scale with it. Which, I mean, that Mecha Godzilla looks like it's bigger than Godzilla from the simulation stuff, so that thing's going to be massive, absolutely massive.
absolutely. And again, Wonder Fest is coming up at the end of the month, so you never know. We might get our
Oh, yeah.
first look at what that Mecha Godzilla may look like. You know,
Mm.
might get information what next gigantic is going to be if there is going to be one. So again, between G Fest and San Diego Comic Con with the Supernova rumors
Mm.
and Wonder Fest at the end of the month, and of course the Human Vapor dropped last night. So we
Yes.
got
Right.
lots of stuff to dive into and talk about. So
I
but
unfortunately saw Supergirl last night, and yeah, very
look at Rich's
unfortunate.
face. Look at
Very
Rich's face.
unfortunate. I took
I
my
like,
daughter
ooh.
was so pumped. I was pumped, and we saw it, and she almost fell asleep, and I was just like, why did they make this movie? Like that was like it's not bad. It's just boring. Like
Mm.
Rich, did you see it?
No. I
No.
would just
Oh.
go take a nap.
Yeah, this movie will absolutely put you to sleep. Like if you're already in the mood for a nap, 100% this movie's gonna clock you out. I absolutely blown away by how just generically boring it was.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does because I really loved Superman. The I it all of that everything that you love from Superman does not exist in this movie in any shape or form. Like there's no real world building, although a ton of awesome practical effects. They really put a lot of time into building the like there's always a bar scene. It's like basically think if like Star Wars was literally an entire movie where they just keep walking into a different bar over and over and over again. That's pretty much what this movie felt like. So those were cool because everything in the background, like you can see that's where all the effort was making all these aliens and monsters and stuff, which was really cool. And Lobo was cool. Jace,
Mm.
fantastic. Everything else, just
Meh.
but I don't want to turn this into Superman. Superman is what the title should have been, because that's pretty much where I stand. But I don't want to go into a Supergirl tangent. I'll save that for another day. Let's talk. Let's talk more Godzilla stuff. So last week, Prime One dropped in my opinion, is the best Godzilla -1 statue I have ever seen. And again, I keep saying I want to downsize my collection, but when shit like that is coming out, and not only that one, then you got the one before that where they're doing the Godzilla vs King Ghidorah poster. Like I can't not pull a trigger on those when they actually go live. What are your guys' take on the -1? Because to me, because I'm not a huge -1 design fan. Like it's good, but it doesn't hit me like, oh man. But that scene is my favorite scene in the movie. So them being able to capture it like that, I think if I had a nitpick, I wish they had one of the mines in the trail between the boat and Godzilla. Like that would be it.
Oh,
Everything else is perfect. Imagine it comes with a second head with the head all fucked up from the explosion or something like that.
Yeah.
Prime One, if you're listening, you still got time. I know that's just 3D printed. You can change it. You can add a sculpt easy. And then, just charge another $1,000 because now it has 2 heads. I mean, that's pretty much how collecting works. It's
so. How much is it when it drops? Do we know yet?
They haven't announced it. I'm gonna say that's easily over $2,000. Easy. I can't see it not being. If it's under $2,000, I will. One, that would be an instant pre-order for me. But seeing how big it is, and one of the things I was thinking of, like, how cool would that be? Like, if I'm not a fish guy, but if you got a giant ass fish tank and that's like in the fish tank, you know what I mean? Like, that could be the greatest fish tank collection piece of all time if you're into that. But I can't see that thing being under $2,000. There's no way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a guess and say it's gonna be 25. That would be my guess. And that's without shipping, baby. Then you factor in the shipping these days. Ooh, doggy. $5,000 to get that thing in hand or something absolutely absurd unless something changes with all the shipping rates and tariffs and all this shit that seems to change every week, basically. This is closed, that's closed, we're back open, but now it costs more. And you're like, okay, just it's almost as ridiculous as PlayStation not making physical games anymore. And
I heard about that.
You're just gonna open a box and it's gonna be a digital code or a QR code, I guess, so you can download your game. The absolute biggest joke.
Yeah.
I can't believe that shit's happening. Not, let's get a little off topic. Why not? So if basically,
let me ask a question. Isn't it probably just their way of making you buy more storage? Is that why they're probably doing this?
No,
you need the storage anyways.
Yeah, you're gonna need the storage. You're gonna need the storage. It doesn't matter. But no, it's so they own that shit, and when they want to get rid of it, that's the thing. It's like if now buying something isn't ownership, because that's what it feels like. Like you buy anything digital, there's nothing stopping the company that you bought that from just taking it down. And then you don't have it anymore. And that's kind of the fear of where this is the rabbit hole that we're going to go down is, it's going to start with video games and then we'll see where the other companies lie. I would imagine Nintendo will be our saving grace in trying to keep physical media alive. But, what if that happens to movies? And it's kind of almost already have, but now you won't be able to buy Blu-rays or hard copies of me. So then, then you get some asshole in the master control room that hits the delete button, and then all this shit's just gone. Like, and it brings my point. Like, if buying is no longer ownership, then piracy shouldn't be considered stealing, right? I mean, I'm gonna start fucking pirating every movie known to man again if this is the route that we're going. Why buy it if they could just take it from you?
What you think about that, Rich? What you think about all that?
So, I have a PlayStation 5. I've been a PlayStation, player, fan, whatever, since 98, 96, whatever. So having like the physical media, I've always enjoyed. Buying a new album, a new movie. Part of it is that's the fun of it. That digital pizza, it's going to be great. It's just you just stare at it and drool on your screen. That was great that Domino's did. Domino's in UK posted that. But over the years I did start buying digital games, and most of it was because I'm fucking lazy and I don't want to get off the couch to put another disc in the damn console. So it's just easier to sit on the couch and just switch games. It was a nice convenience. But I did buy a game about a month ago, Metal Gear Solid Delta. I'm a big Metal Gear Solid fan, and I bought the digital version. And then I was like, shit, I should have bought the physical version because I have like every other case and disc, game, from the franchise going back to 1998. And now I don't have that physical copy, it's like dumbass. So then when all this started breaking out just this past week, was it actually last week, something about Sony deleted like a bunch of movies from PlayStation Store, from the movie section. So what happens to those people that bought those movies? Like they're gone?
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
They paid for them.
If it's not ownership, then what is it?
Yeah.
Like, what are we?
Yeah.
Why
We're renting
are we
it for
things?
a period of time.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. Because they got us buying consoles, and then you need to buy an external hard drive for space. Gone are the days of using a memory card and just plopping the game in and just playing it. So they're
because the game's not
taking
even
it away from us in a sense.
Yeah, because the game's not even on the disc anymore, technically.
Yeah, you have to download it to the console.
When you're just like, what?
But then you got to put the disc in to play it. For those games that that you buy it with the disc. But I don't know.
I think
when Sony released the PlayStation 5 with a discless console, I believe that was them testing the waters to see how the market's going to go, by buying the digital version only, and it's probably shown to be beneficial in the long run. But we still like collecting our physical media.
That's why if you can, if you're getting the new Godzilla Destroy All Monsters remastered, it might be the last physical copy Godzilla game ever made. It very well could be. So I know there's going to be the Nintendo Switch hard copy, and I believe a PS5 are the two. Ironically, the PS5 that'll probably be the last, might be the last physical game they make. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get both of them. They're gonna end up being collectible items, which is crazy. But I mean, most of the Godzilla games are. Look at the PlayStation 4 Godzilla game. That thing goes for some big money these days.
I wish I kept that.
I actually have it, but digitally. So maybe they took it away and I don't even know.
Speaking of Destroy All Monsters, I was going through an old box the other day, and I found this original poster from one of the Game Pros or something that I have, and I still have it. And there was this in there, so it's in freaking great condition still, too. And I'm thinking I'm probably just going to get it framed. But this is from the original release from forever ago.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And you know what? Speaking of full screen, you got a couple of Bandais today, didn't you? You mind showing those off right fast?
Yes.
Sure. I did pick up. I'm not going to show him off. I'll just real quick. I picked up the Evolved Godzilla from New Empire. I didn't have it yet, so I initially went on Hobby Search looking for these new Bandais, the 67 and the Godzilla 92. But I saw the Evolved Godzilla on there. I was like, fuck it, might as well just make it worth the shipping and add another figure in there. But
right,
the 92 Godzilla posing line with Mothra larva on his tail. It looks really cool. I feel like whoever's taking photos for Bandai with their promo photos has like blinders on or something, or maybe but these figures look much better in person. Leslie, you said it earlier today on one of the posts I made, like they really captured that water suit for 92.
Water suit, yes.
Which is actually, I take it back. Was it the 89 suit that they were using for the water scenes in that movie as well?
I think so.
I think so.
Because I'm pretty sure it's
He had those the sunken eyes.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
also see it in the water scenes of Mechagodzilla too.
Yes, same suit.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool. I dig it. It's dynamic, and it's not. I mean, I'm trying to think. We've gotten some of these posing line figures from Bandai now in the past year, but this is neat. Nice attempt. Well, no, a good. I mean,
Yeah,
they
no,
hit it.
I mean,
Hit a home run for me.
getting the water
Um,
suit is cool enough. Like
yeah. So it's good to see Bandai branching out and doing just different things and just static, Godzilla figures or whichever they got coming out. This is freaking awesome. Again, the prototype photo.
speaking of bad pictures, when
Yeah,
when they took it.
yeah, it looked flat gray. I'm like, why didn't they bother painting it? Like, I get like these are supposed to be kids' toys, marketed for mass production, which they are, but the photo just looked bland as shit. So then photos started popping up just in the last week or so, of the actual figure, and I'm like, oh, so there is highlights and paint on it. And one of the things I always talk about is depth, and and it really gives this figure, it makes it just stand out a bit more. A lot of people have been saying, yeah, Minions motorboating Godzilla, but we all know, like,
Especially from the angles that they posted up, it was just like,
yeah, it's like,
what are you
but
guys putting out
What
right
did he say?
now?
What did he
Yeah.
say? Motorboat?
But no, like that, and even yeah, it looks good. Although I will say,
yeah, like Godzilla's
they're
sculpt is
trying to
beautiful.
say that those are marketed for kids, right? But like that's not a toy you can actually play with. So like
No,
they're definitely making that shit for us.
yeah, like they know it. They know
Yeah.
it. Like even with the Giga figures, the Biolante and the Destroyer, like yeah, like those are made for collectors. But this
Yeah.
this came out great. Godzilla looks really awesome, sculpted. I feel like they did nail the 67 suit here.
Very too accurate. Yeah.
Very, very suit accurate. Like this captures that final scene perfectly. And Son
Yeah.
of Godzilla being one of my favorite films, was also my second Godzilla movie. Like, yeah, this hits all the nostalgia for me. So nicely done. Get one. I got mine from Hobby Search. So they were when a few days ago when I bought it, they were in stock. Boom.
Nice. And how's the shipping on that?
The shipping sucked. So because I had the 3 figures together, I think at the end of the day I spent about, what was it, like 15,000 yen, give or take? I forget. I'd have to look. It was a little expensive because it was also DHL, so it was
DHL. Yeah.
it was expedited shipping, but whatever.
Yeah.
I've been saying it, you got to pay to play right now.
Yeah,
it just sucks because go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's like the unfortunate thing is even on what would be the cheaper figures, they end
Yeah.
up feeling like more expensive because the shipping is just astronomical.
Yeah, and I wish this stuff came in stock like 3 weeks ago, because when I bought the new Space Godzilla, I bought the MonsterVerse Burning Godzilla and the Mothra Larva twins. So it would have been awesome just to get all 7 figures in one freaking
one
box. But so goes our hobby of collecting.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
First
it's a
world problems.
little bit easier now because like you got the US Godzilla store is kind of fantastic. They have almost every new release for the most part. Like they have a lot of the new stuff. And then Big Bad Toy Store. That's another really reliable one just based on the fact that like, sometimes some of these bigger figures, especially statues and whatnot, take so long to ship. That's a company
Yeah.
that will be able to refund you or obviously credit you to another or give you credit or something without any issues because, they're a massive shop and have the ability to
Mm-hmm.
do so. Um, or Sideshow, same deal. Like Sideshow has all the Godzilla stuff. Like I'll most likely be hopefully getting my Prime One through them.
Hmm.
Assuming
Hmm.
Prime One gives it to them. I can't remember if Prime One's part of Sideshow anymore. It used to be, might not be anymore. Who knows? This shit changes all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
So
What else? Oh, so we had the Prime One Godzilla. Then there was another new what, the 65? No, 66. I
66.
think Movie Monster Series Godzilla is coming out, and that looks
66.
really good.
Yeah, I'll definitely be getting that. They switched up the hands, and I'm glad because a lot of people were jumping on the one that just came out in the box, so that didn't have a tag on it. So this new one is just part of the standard Movie Monster series. So, but it's cool that they switched up the hand position on it, which will make it look, differentiate it from the 50th anniversary Memorial Box version.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, eventually that entire Memorial Box will be redone. If it hasn't already been, I think the only one that hasn't been released is what, 62?
62.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't they do it 67? Was there one coming?
Oh,
I don't
no,
think
no,
they did 67 yet.
They haven't done a 67. That would be the one you just got would be their first technical release of one. Yeah, so there's still a couple in there, which is cool. Because that Memorial Box set for the longest time, it was kind of strange that they created all those new sculpts and they never released them re-released them, I'm sorry, for so long. I mean, that talk about a one and done. They made that box set and we're just like, all right, 10 years from now, we'll rediscover these sculpts.
Yeah. That's what jacked up the prices over the years, especially for figures being singly sold at G-Fest. Like, I remember the 84 to 64, some of those, the first time those new sculpts were ever made, but they were going for like $150 at G-Fest.
Oh,
yeah. So now that they're getting reissued, which it's great, because now collectors can get their hands on them, clearly affordable. But having had the set from when it came out originally, I was like, yeah, I hope they never reissues these because that's what made that set that much more special to have it complete too. But,
well, that's always the question of like with collecting with me that I always go back and forth on. Cause like, obviously I like the fact that you get a reissue down the line and it allows people to have the opportunity to get it again at a more affordable price. But at the same time, I absolutely hate it because it's like what you just said, now my highly sought after collectible that I had is now not, it's not considered, either completely loses its value, which most of our Bondi collections, if we have them, are nowhere near what we originally paid for them. I remember back in the heyday of, a little Godzilla cost $350, like those days.
Yeah.
And now, crazy stuff. The Memorial Box set, the Bronze Godzilla, like all those things were buco bucks compared to, they were being treated like they were X Plus figures because that's all that existed. And now, most Bondis you can get for under $70 for the most part. 40 to $70 depending on what it is or if it's a store exclusive or whatnot. So, but I always toss that up. Like, I don't know if I actually like reissues though. Like as a collector, I hate them because it's just, I hate seeing something, especially like down the line. If you ever were in a pinch, you needed to sell something. Now it's like, oh, well, this is worth nothing unless there's a specific collector looking for that exact one, because also usually the problem is the reissues are better. Typically.
That's what happened with X Plus. They blew up. We all know, like, Diamond got rights to distribute 30 centimeter figures. Eventually they did 25 centimeter figures. Oversaturated the market. There was so many people jumping in and buying a lot of stuff because there was so much coming out like every month from X Plus in Japan and from the Diamond reissues, that once that bubble popped, now you go on the X Plus group and it kind of sucks. It's more like a for sale site page because there's 9 out of 10 posts are usually for sale posts. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know you're the admin there, but that's where my channel came to life from that group from X Plus. But people are selling stuff for like, they're trying to sell like a 30 centimeter figure for 115 shipped and not a like, not a comment, not a bite, and it's just so much out there. So I'll still get questions on my videos or Instagram posts. Oh, where I can find this, or can I get that? X Plus. I'm like, join the X Plus group and, make a post. Is anybody selling this? Because there's just so much stuff for sale. Um,
Yeah, I feel like most groups
but
in
like,
general across the, are all just sales posts. Like
yeah,
almost every group for the most part is like 90% that. And,
Hmm.
it kind of speaks to the times, I mean, uh, the economy's not the greatest right now. So I definitely understand people trying to, if they got to make do, they got to sell some stuff. But,
yep,
um, on the flip side, also like it's tough to sell some stuff sometimes, because these things are expensive, especially.
mhm,
Well, and that's the crazy thing to know too is like everything's expensive right out of the gate. It's not even like how it used to be. And again, we're all sound like old timers right now. Back in my day, when I used to, it was everything was pretty much relatively affordable. Or there was a time when Bondis were 10 times the price of a Marmot figure because Marmot was just coming out. No one liked the style at first, like the whole
yeah,
Sotheby thing, especially in America, like at the G Fest or the New Yorker
Hmm.
Hotel. Like people were like, "What is
yeah.
that? Like, what is that?"
Why does he
Um,
look like that? It looks stupid.
yeah, I remember my dad, I think one of the first ones my dad got, because my dad always liked that style. He got, I think it was a green, a Marmot 55. And I was like, Dad, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like 12
Mm.
years old. I'm like, what are you doing?
Godzilla don't look like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know what
No.
that is, but I like this Bondi figure way more than that.
Yeah.
And now fast forward 20 years from now, now for the most part, I fell in love with Sofubi and that entire style. Granted, Marmot, that original Marmot vintage line really wasn't their main staying. They only released a couple, like kind of in that really super deformed chibi style. And then when they started doing the newer stuff, the Desu Goji and Miro Goji, you know, that's my Sofubi, like that blend of stylized but detailed, where it doesn't look like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the super overly cartoon looking Sofubi that
You,
exists, but different strokes for different folks. But yeah, it's
yeah, I
it's
mean,
it's impossible now. It's so expensive because almost every new Sofubi, you're at least dropping $250, and that's
and, you know,
that's cheap.
y'all speaking about how things used to be, and I think newcomers don't really understand that nowadays. I mean, Godzilla getting stuff from Japan has always been an inexpensive driven market. Like that's part of the core. But again, like the let's say the S Plus Gigantic series Burning Godzilla, the first one, the 95, right? Came out in 2014. Shipped all in 450. You know a lot of people who
Mm.
would kill to get that price now for a gigantic size
Yeah.
figure. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's 450 is not even the starting price. You know what I mean? Like most of
It's,
the and I remember back when Omega Beast first came out, I had initially said one of my comments because at the time there was the whole Spiral versus Omega Beast, and I was Team Spiral, so people were like, "Oh, you're biased," but I was like, "Look, man, they're coming out with brand new, gigantic size vinyl figures that are already starting at the eBay aftermarket prices.
Mm.
So what happens when people start buying that?" And lo and behold, X Plus was like, "Oh shit, we can sell it for that price? Fuck it, reissue all of them again and mark them up $500." That's exactly what happened. They were just like, "Oh, they're selling these for $1,200? Well, fuck that. Put out a gigantic shin. Put it out again. Here's the 10th
Yep.
95 Burning Godzilla sculpt. Gigantic. Who cares?"
yeah, yeah.
And now they're
We've done
all
that one.
started at like
Yeah,
$800. They all start at $800.
Hmm.
Easy.
yeah. Crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I
somebody.
saw the Monster with Attitude. I saw the Monster with Attitude show a couple days ago. They were talking with Barry from House of Monsters, and he said that he's not even going to sell Gigants this year because it's been so expensive to try to buy them and bring them over here. So he won't have any Gigants to sell this year. So I'm betting it's going to be a lot. We're going to see a lot of that in the dealer's room at G Fest next week. There, you won't see a whole bunch of big expensive stuff, or if it is the stuff, maybe it's the stuff that they got before the tariffs hit.
hold on.
Won't be that much,
You
but
say big expensive stuff, but there will be expensive stuff. It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have to be big to be expensive. especially
Yeah,
in the Sofubi world. I mean, you see
Yep.
sometimes like 6-inch figures going for over $1,000. You're like, what? What's happening?
Yep.
I
Frog
remember,
tree.
yeah,
yeah, I remember I did that with the frog tree. I was like, so this frog tree cost $500, and then here's this. I forget what the hell was it. I think it was one of the. Oh, it was the There was that new 64 Godzilla. Not sorry, Godzilla 67 set, glow in the dark Sofubi. I think it was like maybe 7 inches tall, and that was the same price as the frog tree. It's like, so one's this, and then one's this, same price. Okay, it all makes sense.
yeah.
But
I mean,
we keep
but
buying
through
it,
it,
so that's a we
Yeah.
keep
I was gonna
supporting
say
the
that, like,
problem.
yeah, like through it all, like we're still avid collectors, and it's still fun.
Yeah,
Especially now that the Phantom is on fire right now with so much going on and stuff like that. So, I mean, there are pros and cons to everything. You know what I'm saying? And we've weathered through worse. So I mean, but I want to ask this: what is something that you most looking forward to that will be your next acquisition? Like, what's one thing that you have maybe pre-ordered or something that was announced or you're
Mm.
gonna get? What is that one thing that you're most looking forward to or whatever? You go in that order. You start with AJ, then Rich. AJ, you got something?
it's it's got to be that Prime One statue, man. The Godzilla -1 Prime One, like that. That if it's in the range that I hope it's in, I might pull the trigger because to me, one, it's just so unique. Because I mean, how many? There's not even that many Godzilla model kits of him swimming in general. There might be like one or two, maybe. And if they do
If that,
exist, they're
yeah.
certainly not that size, and with that entire water display top with the yeah. To me, that's what if I can save up some money, that's what my money's gonna go to is that statue if it's within reason. But who knows? It might be way out of the range. I think the Alien Queen that they also showed off at that showcase is like gonna
Yeah.
be like $7,000 to $8,000. They said.
Yeah.
So if the Godzilla -1 statue is that, I'm good. I'll probably buy a new car with that money.
Yeah.
Down deposit on a car or something. I'm like, or go to Disney for that kind of money. Like it's like, all right, making this a whole family trip. Because that's just, shout outs to the people that have that kind of disposable income and can be able to display that on their shelf because that's one hell of a
Mhm.
piece. Unfortunately, I am not one of those people. And I don't think I can ever convince my wife, Kelly, and be like, "Yeah, so I spent $8,000 on One Piece." I don't think I've
And
gotten
by the
away with
way,
a lot of shit. I don't
yeah,
think it would be that.
yeah. And honey, it's gonna go on the dining room table, so we're gonna eat at the island from now on.
Yeah. We're gonna eat on the floor as we
Yeah.
worship the
Yeah, eat
Godzilla
on
on
the
the
floor.
table. Sitting next to my dog, like, "What's up, man? This is what it's like?"
Yeah.
Rich, what about you? What would be, something that you're really hoping to get?
So the only thing that, like, pops, like, you were talking about, like, something that's coming out or something that's down the pipeline, right?
Yeah, something that's down the pipeline, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there's only one thing that stands out. Leslie and I talked about this, but it is the Easy Hobby Omega Beast Burning Godzilla.
Yes.
Um, that I pre-ordered last year when it went up. So the hype for that is after I got the Space Godzilla, and then um, what did I pre-order the Space Godzilla? No, I don't know if I pre-ordered the Burning Godzilla first and then got Space Godzilla. Either way, I'm pumped for that. I remember just seeing KN Lynn's posts because I had joined the Easy Hobby group on Facebook. So he was posting photos from when it was still in the sculpting process. The prototypes. So it's like watching this thing come to life, and then once it was finished and painted up and everything, it's like how could you? Like I was excited from the get go. It's like how could you not pre-order it? How could you not go for that?
Hmm.
There was a point where I said, "Oh, it's too similar to the gigantic Burning Godzilla from X Plus." There was another point where I was like, I haven't too many at this point, enough Burning Godzilla figures in my collection.
Never enough.
And I was like, well, what what would one big motherfucking burning Godzilla hurt? To add to the collection. So I'm excited for that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I have down the pipeline or anything.
I almost tried to get. I actually no, I didn't almost try. I did try to get the New York City Comic Con tickets because I wanted the New York City Comic Con version, the Frozen version, because I thought,
Yeah.
Again, to have something burning Godzilla that's completely unique from everything else that I would own would be that version.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
well, I'm
I
not a
agree.
big fan of Omega Beast like original line of sculpts. Like I was not a big fan of their Shin. I'm still not sold on the Space Godzilla. Maybe I also need to take
Gotta
that
see it
trip
in
in
person.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little
That's how he
too
gets you.
Yeah, I'm very strange when it comes to stylized stuff. Like the Acro 91 is like that perfect amount of stylized for me where I'm like, yes, I need.
See, I didn't pre-order that, and I'm like twisted. Should I or shouldn't I?
I'll have one at Kaiju Brooklyn next year, if you're swinging back around.
If I don't get one, yeah. So,
but they're burning Godzilla. I was like, okay, I'm in. And as Leslie will tell you, I'm not a big fan of the X Plus gigantic burning Godzilla. That sculpt doesn't do much for me.
He hates it.
Yeah, I
hate
it. It's trash, literal trash.
Come on now.
It's so bad, and people hate it so much. They've only been able to sell out of the 20 versions that they've released.
Yeah.
So yes, I know
Easy Hobby one looks really fucking awesome though.
It does because he's beefy, and that's he's just got those big chunk everywhere. Which
his tail is curved
burning Godzilla,
and all that.
It looks great. I really do. If that ever gets on my radar, I definitely want to try to track down the New York City Comic Con version.
Yeah.
What about you, Leslie? What do you got coming?
Let's see. G-Fest has already spoken for us. I'm only getting a couple things out of there, but after that, I'm definitely going to try and get that new GMK Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah kit that was just announced a couple weeks ago.
Ooh, yes, that looks awesome.
I think it's getting a one-day license at Wonderfest, so I'm gonna try and pick it up and try and get that. Actually, you know what? It's not even for me. That's gonna be for Sandra for her birthday. Her birthday is coming in September. I'm gonna try and get that, have it sent off to either Greg or somebody, and have them paint it and give it to her for her birthday. So that's really that for me. But for me personally, more likely I'm gonna try and get the Burning Godzilla Omega Beast. Like once that thing starts dropping on Buyee, I'm gonna be right there that morning. Like, hey, I'm gonna try and get it. So, and then again, I want to do a comparison like between that and the original '95 and have it here on the group. So, I mean on the channel. So, and also again, we talked about this. At least I try to get stuff together with this, not schedules are not aligned. But we're definitely doing it. Like we're definitely going to do a discussion celebrating the death of Goji. Not only the gigantics, but the marmots and the frog trees and
everything.
And
put it all on the table.
Everything. Yeah. So again, lots of stuff is coming. And again, I'm really happy that Rich is here. Hopefully the first of many appearances to come on Kaiju Live. And again, to have and you know me, I hate to get emotional, but I have to admit,
I don't think he hates it.
you know what? I try to be tough and gruff, but then I'll be like Ric Flair when the time comes, and I'm like crying. Blah, blah, blah. But seriously, like legit, like y'all two, outside of my wife, are the two closest people in the world to me. And so to finally get y'all together, and we're finally having a show together, and the chemistry is off the chain. And even the response in the chat has been very, very favorable. So to finally get y'all together and all of us together, it's been really, really. It really touches me right here. So
it's like taking two meatballs and putting them in your mouth, right?
Man, you got to ruin that shit.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Between that and
pretty much
between that and AJ makes the best chili. He makes the best chili. So
man, I've still never made chili in my life. But even for me, I guess we'll all just get a little emotional. Even for me, like Kaiju Live is partly inspired by you guys. So the fact that, we've become friends, like me and Leslie become really close, and you know, Rich, now you're coming on. I mean, it's like, to me, this is still almost like surreal because Leslie will tell you the first time I saw him at G-Fest, I literally came up to him like a fanboy, like, "What's up? I love your channel. Like, can I get a picture?" You know, like that was me. And, and it's just crazy. And the fact that Rich, you posted that video like 12 years ago, like seeing like how long you've been doing this, and it's just like,
Yeah,
you guys are part of like the inspiration for why, I wanted to take Kaiju Live in a different direction than just
awesome.
doing the live auction shows. Like I wanted to do more reviews and more content like that, and which is, what we're starting to work on. So, shout outs to the OGs, Leslie Chambers, Kaiju Reviews, and Mr. Fresh himself. It's awesome. Buy our shit. Yeah, buy our
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Rich, you
Not
want to
AI
share? You want
generated.
to share with the group? You want to
Yeah,
share with
what
the group?
you need to get some emotional stuff off your chest? Or?
I mean, you got both of you nailed it with that perspective as far as what we do here, and I've said it so many times over the years. Going right back to the very beginning, when I started Fresh Vinyl Live or just doing the videos, I wanted to do something in a way that contributed to the fandom because we didn't have this when we were kids. You
Yep.
know, there was no Facebook, there was no YouTubes or whatever. We didn't have these shows. There was, I remember, I think the very first, like, what's the word? Message group I joined was the Yahoo groups through, I'm having a brain fart, through Vinyl Madness. So if any of you guys remember Vinyl Madness, that was like one of the very first web pages that I was going on, and um,
That was
but
like the Monster
we had a
Zero
very
forums
small niche. Monster Zero.
that turned
Yep.
into Club
Um,
Tokyo at some point. Oh god.
yep. Club Tokyo, all that. But for what we're doing now, again, it's like it's fun. First and foremost, it's got to be fun. It's nice to contribute to. Again, still after what I've been doing my show, YouTube channel, whatever, 13 years now. Um, and I've had my ups and downs. Where I was pumping content out, or I'm doing it every now and then. But to see, like Kaiju Live, Monsters with Attitude, Collect All Monsters, and any other YouTube show that's out there that's doing good content, won't go there. Or maybe we should, Leslie. Maybe we don't want to do that.
What,
Um,
you don't like clickbait content of nothing burgers that somehow
yeah,
are loved by everybody? Maybe
yeah,
we should just do that. Be like, "Hey, so I saw on this Reddit post some guy post this leak. It's probably not true, but here's some new news."
yeah,
Like those
yeah,
a lot of the videos feel like that. You're like, "Okay."
yeah.
And
Garbage. It's just some
all
garbage
right.
out there. But
Continue.
w- you're gonna have to show me. You've seen something like that?
Oh, look, some breaking news. There's a Kong
Yeah,
in front.
yeah,
It could be related to Space Godzilla. Tune in. No.
yeah, yeah.
What? Fuck?
But no, I like to think of the network that we've all created as kind of like our own MCU or Monsterverse, literally crossing the streams. We've
Yeah.
all had our own shows here.
Oh, shit.
We've branched out on other people's shows. Figure Mania show, Harold's doing a great thing there.
Yeah.
But
This
there's just
stuff's awesome.
so much content out there right now from within the fandom. Like, how fucking cool is that? Because we're the everybody that's putting out content, being a YouTube show, a live show, Instagram page, or whatever that's out there. We're just continuing to feed the fandom, and that's what the fandom needs. Good, constructive, wholesome fun. We're gonna start we could start some meatball beef. Well, I mean, it's either with beef, veal, pork. That's a good idea to mix them all together and everything.
Yeah, super meatball.
But yeah,
Yeah. It
no,
could be
but
that's
no,
why it's called a meatball. It could be any meat.
yeah,
Mystery
it's
meat,
all
you don't
kinds
know.
of meat. But no, from a sentimental point, I think it's just cool that we're all doing this. And everybody else that's doing it. Having a show, having fun. Somebody once asked, why I started Fresh Vinyl Live, even though it's kind of just been defunct for a while yet again. But back in 2013, I had just went to my first G Fest, and I was like, how do we keep the party going? And it was like, boom, Fresh Vinyl Live was born because I wanted. Oh, you don't got to put me on full blast.
Oh, man, I wanted to catch the emotion,
It's just well, that's the thing right there. It's like, I don't like being put on full, front and center. I've had a lot of people over the years, saying this and that, you're putting me on a pedestal. I don't like that. I'm not doing anything special. I don't like that recognition. I really don't at the end of the day, because I'm just doing this for fun. And then it's the fact that we could just have genuine fun and have a bond about it. Again, be it this show, that show, whatever. It's fun. So I don't do it for any clickbaits, or you're not going to see me telling you, if you see me at G Fest, come say hi and take a photo. No, I don't give a shit if you come up to me or not. But some people want that validation,
Well, I think that's just that's just a different, that's all different types of people.
Yeah.
Because like some days I can be like that, and then some days I can be like, don't talk to me. Don't.
Yeah. We were
Some
talking
days
about like the patio at the Rosemont, at the Crown Plaza. Sorry, at the Crown Plaza. I hated it because I could never turn Mr. Fresh Vinyl off. I'm like, outside on the patio.
I know.
I was like, I want to chill. I want to be, and then there was one year, it must have been 2017 or 18. I had people lining up to talk to me. I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck?
Damn, you famous.
Yeah, like,
See, that's sometimes the price of fame. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, even Mike Drakowski
these...
with Vampire Robots, he said it one time. I don't know if him and I were walking together through the Crown, but he was walking, in the vicinity of me, and I must have went up to my hotel room, and I'm pretty sure I went up to go grab beers, and I'm pretty sure I had 2 beers in my hands, and I was wearing cargo shorts. I had 2 beers in one pocket, and I had 2 beers in the other pocket, and I'm on my way back to the dealer's room, and I got kids stopping me. I'm like, and I had one kid and his mom stop me, and his mom was like, "Can I have one?" I'm like, "No, these are mine." But it was just overwhelming at some point. But again, my point is that I do this because it's fun. I love this fandom. I love the friends more importantly, the friends that we've made over the years. Because if it wasn't for that, then why would I go sit in a hotel room with a pile of shit vinyl figures and just relish over it myself? That's not fun. It's the people. All right, I'm done ranting now.
No, that's one of the things that it felt really good to be back at, with Kaiju Brooklyn, obviously our first time vending, which was its own experience, but it's the first convention I've been back to since COVID. So like that whole experience of like being with your people where someone can come up to you and start talking about the nerdiest shit. And you're totally like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and vice versa. Like, you don't have to feel weird of like, let me deep dive on this guy real quick. And they're like, they know exactly what you're talking about, as opposed to most people be like, what the fuck are these? That's how it was when we were growing up. New Monsterverse fans don't know how good they have it right now. There was a time where if you were a Godzilla fan, you were looked down upon as you liked the craziest shit ever. Like there was like superhero stuff, Star Wars stuff, and then you were buried so far down the list of liking. And now it's like, if you're not a Godzilla fan, what's your problem?
Like, how do you not like that?
Yeah, like
see, anytime somebody said to me or gave me that vibe that, oh, you like Godzilla, like that's dumb. It's like, well, isn't Batman and Superman just a guy in a suit too? It was like, so that was always my defense. But
well, the same thing. Superheroes became mainstream out of nowhere. That also what used to be like, again, there was levels to being knocked down as nerds.
Yeah.
And then all of a
Godzilla
sudden
was really.
Yeah, Godzilla was way down there. But then superheroes became like you haven't seen the new Marvel movie? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like and now it's like Godzilla. Every Godzilla movie's become an event. Like who would have ever thought that in the US that even when the Alamo,
the Japanese ones.
Yeah, even when the Alamo is bringing back old school movies just for weekends, like people are still showing out, going to see Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Godzilla vs. Biollante, Shin Godzilla. They do, it's like people are still going all out for this stuff. It's awesome, and to see that it keeps growing. But man, it's such a bittersweet time. It's the best time and the worst time. It's the best time if you just love Godzilla content and lore. It is kind of the worst time to be a collector, in my opinion, because of all the like just what the prices are, and then the shipping just doesn't help. And for a guy that was for the most part just collecting gigantics, it was like,
Mm.
oh, I can't do this uh anymore. I have to be way more selective because in a lot of cases the shipping is as much as the figure is. Like, okay. I can't explain this to the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh, that's right. Rich, you're not going to G Fest, right? That's right. Kaiju
No.
Brooklyn, you got that sweet frog tree from dad, which I believe
Yeah.
is up next, if I saw the teaser correctly. That's on the table.
Yeah, yeah. I was out in Boston last night with some friends celebrating somebody's birthday, and got home late, and I've been in a lazy sack of shit all day, so I was supposed to do that review today. So I am sorry. I might do it after this. We'll see. But yes, that frog tree is next. Bam.
Yeah, I'm about to do the KOC, which was painted by John LeGrand, which I still can't get over. And then the Ichiban and Mecha King Ghidorah. Those are on my docket, which I might do right after this. I won't lie,
Yeah.
when I got after the Godzilla exhibit today, which was fantastic. And I took a ton of footage. That's actually gonna be a project I'm working on the next week, is making like a video of that entire trip. And it was just me and my daughter, and we, shout outs to Rob, who is the district manager of the entire arts department over there, and basically got a personal tour because he actually bought Godzilla, my dad's oxygen destroyer that he made, the glow in the dark one, and he had it on display, as well as
Hmm.
if you're familiar with Ultra Godera and all his 3D model, that same guy bought most of all that stuff and had them in the display there, which was it was cool. It's like, oh shit, I just saw this stuff like 2 weeks ago, and
Hmm.
now it's there. And this, I gotta tell you, man, for an exhibit and for what he did, because he told me that obviously he's a huge Godzilla fan, and his collection was on full display in like the last room. He had all these cases, and it was all his stuff. And he has, it was cool to see. He had a bunch of model kits. He had a bunch of stuff from Dope Hope, a bunch of stuff from. He was talking about John LeGrand painting some stuff for him. He was showing me his Titanosaurus. So like his collection is fantastic. But the fact that the principal was also into Godzilla, and they got the entire school on this
It's
as a
awesome.
project for the entire year. And we're
Mm.
talking about hallways of second grade art to, I think the school grade levels are almost up to a senior, I think. But, they did videos, they did a music video. They had the mayor of New Jersey do like Godzilla's in New Jersey, like public service announcement. Um, they had uh they made a cookbook. We were talking like Mothra deviled eggs. It's just unbelievable. Like literally got the entire school across every, not just people working on videos, and you had just all the artwork and digital art and drawing art and from all grade levels, culinary pieces. It's unbelievable. You shout out to Rob for putting that all together, and it was giving me and my daughter a basically private tour of the entire thing. It was awesome. It was an awesome experience. But being it's so hot, and then the traffic coming back was trash.
Mm.
Took me double the time to get back that it took me to get there. As soon as I got home, I passed out basically. So yeah, I was like, yeah, when I get back, I'm gonna start filming some stuff. Like, no, I go sleep now.
Yeah.
We go sleep.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm with y'all on that. Like again, like what's next on the docket for me, as far as like reviews for the network, the '98 Godzilla, 30 centimeter one from X Plus, which has again gotten a lot of positivity as of late, which is great to see.
Yeah, it looks
And of course,
unbelievable.
yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, Space Godzilla is coming. Space Godzilla is coming, as well as um, the fallout from G Fest, what was there, what was not there, and all that good stuff. But actually, I talked to Sandra last night. She wants to do a little segment on the show called
Hell
Sandra
yeah.
Safubi,
Oh,
and
snap. All right.
her
Sandra
first
Sofubi.
edition is and her first edition is she's gonna rank the Ukiyo-e 95 frog trees that she has. Like she has 3 of them, so she wants to talk about and rank them. Her personal favorite, all the good stuff. So that would be coming real soon to add some female flair to the Kaiju Live
Yeah.
Network outside of Kelly and the kids and stuff like that. So that's what I got coming on my plate.
No, that's gonna be awesome. And again, the frog tree is. I don't think there's a bad version. It just comes down to
Mm.
personal preference. Like for me, I have the green one
Yeah,
because I'm a sucker for anything green. So I'm just like, yeah, that's
yeah.
mine. Then obviously that candy one. If I'm being unbiased towards green, I think the candy one that Rich has is
Yeah, the Mothra
the
one
the
looks
the
really
best.
good.
Mothra,
Expect
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? That leads to my last question I'm gonna have for y'all, and that's it for me. But Frank in the chat, and he said that Rainbow Frog Tree is my figure of the year so far. Which leads me
yeah.
to ask y'all, what has been your favorite figure acquisition of the year so far?
Hmm.
Got more coming, but what is that one thing that's been like your favorite, which you
Of the
basically are
year,
halfway through the year? Yeah,
again the KOC 64. Um, yeah, that's my favorite Godzilla. Getting that piece back. And finding out that it was painted by John and getting an unbelievable deal from the dude that runs Gotham City Guitars, I believe it's called. That's his shop that he runs, and you know, to me, that's probably the best steal I've gotten in a long time. Everything was 450 when I picked it up, and the model kit itself, without being painted by John, I'm sure. So I really appreciate the deal. But yeah, that's gonna be a hard pickup for me to top. That's definitely for me. Rich?
what about you, Rich?
So it's such a hard question. And Leslie and I have talked about this a lot. I hate top lists, like top 5 or whatever,
He
because
really does.
it's hard. It's hard to break it down because like a lot of the stuff that I've picked up in the last month or two have really been freaking bangers. The Godzilla versus Ebra X Plus favorite sculptors line set, that
Yes.
thing freaking knocked me on my ass. The
Higher
Frog Tree Birdie
91,
Godzilla that I picked up from you. Um,
the higher
the
91.
the high well, yeah, where the hell is it? Over there. The high 91 and the Ghidorah. Yeah, I got shit all over the place in here. Those are really cool, but I think those are at like the bottom of like my favorites if we're gonna make a list like for this year. But that list is hard to make. The Joku Productions Mechagodzilla 74 reveal is freaking awesome.
Yes.
Um,
I forgot about that one.
yeah, yeah, I reviewed that already. That's downstairs. Even the 98 Godzilla, like that's probably on the bottom side of the list. Like it's really cool. But
How about
if right
Junior?
now Junior, yeah, he's kind of on the bottom side of the list. But it's probably the Burning Godzilla Desugoji that I picked up from Kaiju Live from AJ, Frog Tree, the Joku Productions Mechagodzilla 74, and the X Plus Godzilla 66. One of those 3.
Mm.
And I think I'm leaning.
Mm.
I don't know. It's really
Six,
hard.
I
One
would lean towards the
Sofubi.
66.
That's
That
where I'm
66 set
going.
is so.
That thing is
I was
just
shocked that you didn't have the original one, but I'm glad
right.
I gave him
that you were
shit.
able to get
I
it.
gave him so much shit for
Yeah,
that. I gave him so
You
much
did.
shit.
You did. So and I got to review that after I do the Frog Tree. So I haven't done photos for that. So I'm gonna fall in love with it all over again when I get behind the camera. But yeah, I think I'm going with the 66
Mm.
so far for the year.
What about you, Leslie? Show off that big space Godzilla again. Come on.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's not fair because I just got him. So he's
Yeah,
still in
no,
the honeymoon phase.
put it on the screen.
I
Yeah.
would say
Oh, you still
so
grab it or no?
far, the Great Clash. That's my
The Great
favorite
Clash.
so far.
Okay.
The Great Clash. That thing is freaking gorgeous, man. But yeah, I mean, I showed off one last time for we roll. But yeah, this is I got to spend more time with him and all that good stuff. But
The big
he is
baby.
definitely worth the money. He is definitely worth the purchase. Again, I'm going to do a review, but in the meantime, if you don't have one and maybe you're were like me a couple weeks ago, and you were thinking about it, you didn't know what to do. You had the money, but you didn't know if you want to pull a trigger. Go to Rich and Josh's video, and I promise you, between their commentary and Rich's pictures and all that good stuff, the way he shot it, you will pull the trigger. It is great. And again, jump on it now because I think after we get the supposedly rumor that will hopefully come through at San Diego Comic Con in a few weeks, and they announced that you know who is going to be the main villain in the next MonsterVerse movie. I think Space Godzilla is going to blow up. Like everything about him is going
Yeah.
to blow up, and so so
Yeah.
far this is the biggest Space Godzilla collectible ever made, ever made. So
And there's a light up version coming too. So
in a light up version too, that will have not only light up crystals, but I think it's going to have like 2 display crystals that you can put
yeah.
next to him as like a display. Um, so again, this is the biggest, 55 centimeters tall, which is like what 20, 22, 23 inches tall, and in spite of him being so big, the tail is curved, so you don't have to worry about like the gigantic Brennan Godzilla from X Plus, where his tail is going straight out. So you
Yeah,
have
I
to either
never
position
got
him
to.
sideways.
I
Yeah,
remember you gave me shit
that's
when you found out I displayed that without the tail in. I'm like, I can't fit
That's
it
what I do.
in my shelf. Like I
man.
have the
Both of
tail
y'all can go
next
to
to it.
hell.
And the tail next to it, it looks
Both of
like it's
y'all can
curled
go.
up, but it's fucking
Look,
massive.
that's how I do mine.
Yeah, hell
That's
yeah,
how I do
exactly.
mine.
Perfectly in the corner. The tail's
Yep.
fucking 4 feet long. It's like, what are we
Yep.
supposed to do with that?
That's like displaying your shit on the
Leslie.
floor. That's an automatic fail. Fuck y'all, man. Fuck both of y'all, man. What's up, Rich? What you
Hey,
gonna say?
where are you going to display yours? Your Space Godzilla.
Oh my god, that's another thing. I have not figured it out because and that's the thing. I knew it was coming, so I came up here probably like a few days prior. Oh, no, actually this week while I was going back and forth, walking back and forth, debating I was going to unbox it or not. But I was a good boy. So I came up here and I really just been really trying to figure out where he's going to go. Like again, because even though he's big and bulky and massive, again the tail being curved makes him kind of a better fit, like somewhere. More likely he'll go somewhere on the top because again I adopted your philosophy. What's up, baby? I adopt your philosophy, Rich, of putting my gigantics on the top, so he deserves to be on the top. Um,
Yeah.
I'm going to pair him with
Front
the
and center.
'89 gigantic Godzilla because that was the other biggest reason why I wanted to get this because I was not going to get this if I didn't have something to compare him with, right? And the '89 is the closest thing we got, because truth be told, I'm not the biggest fan of the '94 Godzilla as like a design. I think he's too fat. I mean, I think he just fell into a canyon full of Doritos and ate his way out of it. So not really a big fan of that. I actually prefer the '89, '91, and '92 as in terms of Heisei Godzilla designs because he looks well proportioned. So he'll look great up against this guy. So more likely he'll go somewhere on the top. But for right now, that's um to be determined. But in the meantime, I love it. Like again, the detail is great. The paint job is great. Just the roaring face, the fact he's expressive, which is something that the original suit did not have, ladies and gentlemen, makes this a worthwhile piece, and it makes me a firm believer into Omega Beast. Again, not a big fan of everything that they do, but they have proven that they can put out some bangers, at least worthy of me spending my money on them. And the next one is going to be the Burning Godzilla. I'm going to do my best to get that. If not, the '98 Godzilla, 'cause I like that one too.
I did
But,
notice on the
again,
box, this is technically
go ahead.
not the favorite sculptors line, right? It's favorite products line.
Products. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Omega Beast, at least the Odo Island Godzilla 2023. And they also made a Shin one. They collaborated with S Plus too. But all of them were Omega Beast Easy Hobby sculpt by
No,
K
I
and
know.
Lynn. They were all made.
I'm just surprised that they came up. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just another FSL, and then I saw the box. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a new title. I never noticed that
In a
before.
way, even though the titles are different, I still look at them kind of like the same because again, S Plus didn't make this sculpt. They got it from an established sculptor. That's what the famous sculptors line is. They got
Yeah.
established kits from established sculptors, and they just took over the project and sell it as their own. At least they collaborated. It's the same thing here.
Mm.
So I really hope that we get more. In case you can't, go through Omega Beast directly. I know Be Forever can be swamped sometimes. Hopefully, it'll create more collaborations between X Plus and Omega Beast to do stuff in favorite products line. like again, the Burning Godzilla, the '98, and what else they're gonna be doing down the line, But again, I highly recommend this. I haven't done a review yet, but I highly recommend this. And if you're a Space Godzilla fan, it's definitely the biggest. It's probably the ultimate
Mhm.
one. And it's stylized, but it's stylized in a good way because it makes you look at the creature had it been more expressive. You never know. I'm sure we'll get a more expressive Space Godzilla if he is going to be in the MonsterVerse. So this may be like a sign of things to come. Either way, I
Yep.
love it. I really love it. That's it for me.
I wish Sakai would do a X Plus Space Godzilla based on his like SH Monster Arts design, where he's like sleeker, little
Yeah.
doesn't look like the big chunky suit that can't move. Now speaking of Space
Yeah.
Godzilla though, got one question for everybody. What is one thing that if it isn't incorporated in the new MonsterVerse design, let's just assume that it's Space Godzilla. I'm 99.99% sure it is. What's one thing that if they don't incorporate from his design into the new one that you will just lose your shit and be like, what the fuck? Because like,
This,
Mechagodzilla, for me, it was
this right
like,
here, the crystals. They have to be a part of that bitch.
Yeah.
They have to be a
Yeah.
part of it.
yeah, if he doesn't have shoulder crystals, I think, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would probably be the most hated design known to man that ever
Yeah.
happened. It would be Doomsday from Batman vs Superman all over again, where they're like, yeah, this is Doomsday. You're like, have you opened up a comic
No.
book or ever
Yeah.
seen what Doomsday fucking looks like? Like, where's all his shit? It would be like that
Yeah.
all over again. I'd be like,
Gotta have the
Mr.
shoulder
Tank.
crystals and gotta have the crown horn on his
yeah,
forehead.
I feel like those are the two things. Like, it has to have that.
and the fangs. You gotta have the tusks. Like
Yeah.
you can't not have those.
Yeah, those are the I mess around with his skin texture, do any of that shit you want to do, but like it has
Yeah.
to have those three things. It absolutely does.
Yeah, because
I hope
like
they
how
don't
can
botch
you
it.
create? How can like we're gonna do Space Godzilla, but that would be like Godzilla '98. You take everything that we know about the character and just throw it away.
Strip it away.
Yeah, throw it away. Well, that's why I kind
Yeah.
of brought up Mechagodzilla because I know that has did not really get the response from older fans, which I get. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
really, I always felt like if they just would have made his eyes yellow and like the mouth yellow, I think
That
that would
would
have
have been enough.
helped. That
He
wouldn't
look
have been
like
enough. I'm just saying it would have helped where,
no, it wouldn't.
the
He look like fucking
nostalgia might have
Grimlock.
kicked in. Yeah.
Like Grimlock from
Again,
Transformers.
I've always liked the design just because it reminds me of Skynet. Like if Skynet was to build a Mechagodzilla, that's what it would look like. You just reminded me of
I agree with
Terminator.
that.
So I dug that, but at the same time, the only Mechagodzilla design that's probably worse than it is like Mechagodzilla City. I would say.
Yeah. I didn't like any of that. I didn't even register any of that. Like what? And I
Yeah.
only watched it once. The MonsterVerse Mechagodzilla design, like I had said in my review with Godzilla '98, just taken for what the movie is and not what I want it to be. I dig the MonsterVerse Mechagodzilla design. It works for the film, considering, hey, we got to build something to combat Godzilla. Like it has to be fast. It has to be big. It has to be agile. It has to be able to whoop some ass. And that's what it did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. To me, it's really Mecha Ghidorah, honestly, at the end of the day. Because I love
what
it.
they were originally that's what they were actually gonna do.
Yeah. I like the
not wrong.
concept that Ghidorah's essence through its telekinesis, or it took over the
driver's seat.
robot. So it's really
Yeah.
Mecha Godzilla. I mean, Mecha Ghidorah. Sorry,
Yeah.
in a
Hero.
sense.
At the same
Weird.
at the same time,
Period.
it does drive home the fact that's the closest that Mechagodzilla and King Ghidorah have ever been in the film together.
Yeah.
Like I want to see them oppose each other. Like we've never got that. Those are the two from the Big Five that have never came across each other. Everybody else has, but those are the only two that have never came across each
But
other.
they're
Maybe
in the
comic
same
books, but
It's the first time they're in the movie together, though, because you got the Ghidorah
Yeah.
skull and
Yeah.
Mecha Godzilla. But what's
I would
also
love-
interesting now that we're
No,
go ahead, sorry.
No, good.
Because now we're picking this whole theory apart. Mechagodzilla doesn't, because like I said, I think it's really Ghidorah controlling Mechagodzilla. So that's why I
He
said it's
is.
more like Mecha Ghidorah. So the true version of Mecha Godzilla that was intended, it doesn't actually ever really fight Godzilla because it's not controlled by a human. It's controlled by Ghidorah. So Ghidorah having that Alpha Titan energy, from another planet, making him and Godzilla ultimate enemies. It's also why I think, clearly why like that whole anytime Mechagodzilla turned on, Godzilla was instantly drawn to him, because he was sensing that Alpha Titan energy,
Well,
because
yeah,
they were also using the whole Monarch, not Monarch, the
Apex.
freaking what was the thing that
the
sent the
pulse.
signal out?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know exactly what
yeah,
you're talking
because
about.
that's what the I can't remember it right now.
Yeah, we just
It's
saw
just a
it being
cool
built
theory
in the
that I
trailer.
like nitpicking. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no, that is a really cool point. And to me, that's one of the reasons why I actually like I can kind of look past the design because I have been wanting them to go back to Mechagodzilla as an alien creation.
Mm,
And that's kind of like the closest we've come to it. Because that's what I would love to
For
see. I
sure.
mean, give me the Exions coming back with Mechagodzilla and Mecha King
mm.
Ghidorah as
Oh,
their squad. And
yeah.
and throw in Gigan too. Let's just have
Yes, I was
those
just
3
gonna
come
say.
and just, like, give us that as a new destroy all monsters. I would
Yeah.
love to see the Monsterverse go into space alien invasion. Like, you've been Showa and corny. Like, just take that next step, and I'm hoping with Space Godzilla, maybe that's kind of what we're gonna lean
Mm,
into. Oh, that 'cause that's to me, that's what I want. I just want aliens coming down with just give me the whole hokey nonsense of like, we're just coming here to take over the planet just fucking cuz, and here's some monsters we brought to fuck
Mm.
you up.
yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man,
Yeah.
now I'm just
We'll
fantasizing
see.
about it. Seeing those 3 on
Yeah.
screen together, like I you need more than Godzilla and Kong. You'd actually have to bring in
The
like, I
ape.
You
guess
need
His,
yeah,
his water
you'd have
ape.
to have
Shimo,
Yeah,
Shimu,
Shima would
whatever.
actually have to help. Maybe,
Yep.
Mothra can make another appearance and Rodan. Yeah, you'd have to bring them all.
Yep. Yep.
Speaking of Rodan, man, you think Rodan be in the new movie, or are they just Monarch?
I think they should bring Rodan back. Because what's he doing? I mean, we got that whole intro into Godzilla versus Kong where they show that everybody was defeated. But
Where'd they all go?
Rodan was still alive at the end of the King of the Monsters. Bowing down to Godzilla. So
Ugh.
Which is trash, absolute trash.
yeah, I didn't like
Ugh.
that. That was kind of.
Yeah, yeah, that was just like
It
why,
gave me Game of Thrones vibes. Bend the knee. You know.
which Rodan
Um,
would never do. Absolutely never. No chance.
yeah, but he like cowardly bent the knee. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Yeah.
your queen
But then again,
stabbed me.
Rodan
My
wasn't the
bad.
same size as Godzilla. He wasn't the same size as Godzilla. At least the Showa Rodan, and I've always said this. I mean, this might be one of the few times where I actually agree that when some people say that Toho can only get a monster right. I actually agree with that when it comes to
mm,
Rodan. His first 2 films, he's obviously a badass that destroys the world, blah blah blah. But in the next film, he is portrayed, if not Godzilla's equal. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. Monster Zero is kind of like the same, but he's kind of sort of there to destroy monsters. Don't even get me started. Mechagodzilla 2, I don't like how they diminish his size to make Godzilla. I don't. And again, out of all the big five, it's
Fire Rodan's
Godzilla,
dope though. Yeah.
Mothra, yeah, but there's Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla, and Rodan. And I say
mm.
that for a reason because I think that is their level of importance. Rodan is like the least important, and it shows. It really shows from Toho's point of view.
I mean, at least
And
he's in the movie.
really,
I mean, Anguirus was just a skeleton at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
yeah. But really, it's
They're
the
like,
fans
hey,
that keep Rodan alive. It's us really by talking about it and going at Toho like, hey, even Frank's in the chat. Even he can say they have not even released Rodan on 4K in the theaters over there. Not yet.
yeah, that's
I know
true.
it's coming out. It's coming out on 4K Blu-ray in August, but they have not done that. They have prioritized Mothra's 65th anniversary. and it's completely ignored Rodan's 70th. That
And
right there is straight up bullshit, in my opinion. I
oh,
don't care if
absolutely.
Mothra is the second most popular monster behind Godzilla. That's fine. You can still honor her, but don't ignore Rodan. Don't
Yeah.
ignore Rodan.
It is surprising to see that Rodan, obviously before the last episode of Monarch, has just not been utilized at all, considering how popular Jurassic Park is, and the
Mm.
closest thing to a dinosaur is literally Rodan. So it's like so surprising that they never want to capitalize on that at all, because it's just there's a reason why that character, which has been criminally underutilized over the last 30 years, is still so popular, even though it's
Mm.
never on screen. And I think, just everyone's love, usually their beginning of getting into all this always stems from dinosaurs. You know,
Yeah.
you're a dinosaur kid.
Yep.
So it's like Rodan is just a fucking pterodactyl. Like, let's go. um, but yeah, no, I hope it comes back. But I would love to just see the like MonsterVerse destroy all monsters, and you bring in,
Yeah.
bring back the black hole aliens or the Exions, whatever. Pick one, doesn't matter. I would prefer the Exions done not
Mm.
as emo pop bands like Final Wars. But hey, maybe the black hole aliens would be cooler. Bring them back.
But again, I want to thank you both for sharing this moment with me with the gigantic space Godzilla. Again, I really do appreciate it. It was
Boom.
an honor and a pleasure to have this stream with you, and hopefully, again, it'll be the first of many streams to come where we have Mr. Fresh Vinyl come through, and this was a great conversation. You see how it led to Space Godzilla. Then we talked about how prices used to be, and how great the fandom is
Yeah.
when it can be sometimes, and Rodan and all that good stuff. So.
Isn't it
So I'm
scary
looking forward to
that
doing more shows with y'all. I'm sorry, go
isn't
ahead.
it isn't it scary that like we're in, probably if not already, we're gonna be considered like the boomer squad of this, right?
Ugh.
Isn't that, yeah,
Yeah.
it's slowly happening. Goji
Yep.
Franklin and all those kids, they're gonna be like, oh,
Up and comers.
there's those fucking old guys again streaming.
Yep.
We're still here. We're kind of like we still got some life left in us. Like we're like on what's the old timer wrestler? I'm trying to think. We're not Chris Jericho. We're not doing that. But like Roman Reigns in a way, like 'cause he's closer to the end versus the beginning. So we still got some life left in us. We still got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
But
We're,
we ain't done.
Hulk Hogan joining the NWO. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah. Yeah. We're hitting what did he call that? Hitting your second
Your midlife crisis.
No. Well, I've had a few of those already, but
I know.
yeah.
second win, yeah.
Because we lived through so much shit already, and
Yeah.
compared to our parents.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I think between the three of us and how animated and how, in a way, kind of brutal we can be, it's like I'm waiting for the day where we do a show where we just go all CM Punk. I'm talking about 2014 CM Punk, and just that's coming, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna let you know right now.
I mean,
I've done that a little bit here and there. Sometimes am I joking or am I not joking? Because I've got some things in my back pocket that I'd like to just throw out there, and just rip some things. But I'm trying to be better.
Well, I appreciate that.
Some
kind
people
of
in
growth.
this fandom, growth.
Yeah,
I'll
growth.
just stop right there.
Yeah, growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Rich, on behalf of AJ, all just aside, we really do appreciate you coming aboard Kaiju Live, and
No.
and
My pleasure.
Absolutely,
Thank you
man.
very much.
And thank you so much for being here. And again, we look forward to having you on. I mean, I know we talked with you.
Yes.
I know I talked with you about you coming back when we do a deep dive into Ghidorah, Mothra vs. Godzilla, and Monster Zero,
Yeah.
and covering the films of Gigan and Megalon. And again the Space Godzilla comparison stuff, the Death of Goji. So yeah, we got a few ideas that Rich will definitely come back for. And please check out his YouTube channel, Fresh Final Reviews, where he said his next review is going to be the Frog Tree, and hopefully after that, the new X Plus, at least the reissue of the X Plus Eberg and Godzilla set, along with other stuff he's got coming,
Those are next.
Mega Beast Run and Godzilla, etc. And of course, for me and AJ, we'll be here every Wednesday night, or at least try to be, with What's New in Kaiju. talking about
Yeah,
the latest happenings
maybe
in the
we should just
collectible
start
world.
saying every week. We'll be here every week because
Yeah,
it seems to
yeah,
change between Wednesday and Friday almost all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. And so you also got the auction shows, and every now and then we'll do a supplemental. So between all of us, we got some great content coming your way, and please check it out. And thank you for everybody in the chat for being here for us, Jay, who's talking about shit stuff and all
Yes,
that.
us old
Yeah, and you
timers.
guys have a good time at G Fest.
I won't be
Fuckers.
there. Just him.
Oh, you're not going? Okay, all right.
I'm not going. No,
I
no,
thought you
yeah.
were going.
No,
Sorry.
because it's my birthday. I usually.
Oh, that's
you
right.
know,
You did say that. That's
yeah,
right.
so I
Happy
got
birthday.
a nice
Happy birthday.
cookout next Saturday as I turn 40.
Make
And
some
my
sausage, some stuffed mushrooms.
yeah,
What do you got
absolutely. Tomahawk
Nice.
steaks. Tomahawk steaks, baby.
going on?
Yes.
Nice.
Gotta get my
Somebody's
big Fred
making the
Flintstone
meatballs.
steak.
Nice. Tomahawk. Good.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good. Well, Leslie, you have a good time at G Fest, sir.
I'm gonna try to.
Yeah.
You do try.
I'm gonna try to. And I'll FaceTime both of y'all to let you know what's going on and blah blah blah. But
I can't wait to see what the model rooms got cooking.
Well,
Between,
Greg Betters.
Yeah, Greg,
and
my buddy
Marcellus,
Charles, Marcellus. Is John LeGrand going to be there?
Oh, I don't know. I know.
also, Josh Ford, he's in the chat.
He's
bringing some stuff.
He's submitting a model. Let me tell you something. I know we're somewhat wrapping up, but that model room has blown up in the last few years. So make sure you check it out. The fact that there was a line to get into there last year, like every day, awesome. But a lot of great work going on in there from people bringing and showing up. So good stuff. Check out the model room.
He's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
All right, everybody. Have a great, safe, happy 4th of July. And as always,
all your fingers.
Yeah. Like and subscribe and be on the lookout for more content from Kaiju Live. Have a great weekend, everybody. Peace.